Hello, my fellow lovers of beauty. I pray that 2022 finds you all in the best of health, wealth, and spirit. Today, I'm sharing my first home project of the new year, which is the reorganization of my garage. As with all of my projects, before beginning, I first wanted to consider my desires for the space and cost efficiency to pull off those desires. Getting started, declutter. I want to take into account all items that are currently stored at the garage, getting rid of anything that we do not use. We purchased this shed for additional storage. My first desire is the ability to store my home decor, be it my wall art, faux florals, and vases. I also want to keep the fridge as our family currently uses it. Third, I desire a creative space for woodworking and crafting. Fourth, I want to maintain the basic functionality of a garage for tool storage, and auto repair. For cost efficiency, I intend to use items that we currently have at the garage for storage, tables, cabinets, and shelving. And I want to incorporate some DIYs and make use of the wood post and plywood that we already have on hand. To pull off my desires, I came up with this design layout, and I intend to take advantage of the vertical space at the garage. As I awaited assistance for the build of the shed, I decided to move forward with the cleaning and clearing of the right side of the garage. I began with the right side as I knew it would be my most challenging since I intended to build a complete storage system. I measured all wall space at the garage and mapped out my design layout at the wall prior to install of my storage system. As I went through items, I placed all that was being stored at the shed in storage bins in order to create a system of flow that would allow for me to immediately move the items to the shed once build was complete, thus clearing out the garage for install and reorganization. It is my intent to continue to use the utility shed as such. The new shed will be used to store seasonal decor, seasonal linens, and pillow inserts for my decorative pillow covers. Once the base platform for the shed was complete, my brother and sister-in-law came by to assist with the complete build of the shed. In order to maximize the space, I decided to use vacuum bags for storage of my seasonal linens as well as my pillow inserts. I continued with the storage bins otherwise, and I found these label inserts at Amazon. So I detailed specifically what was in each bin, and I placed that information inside those label inserts. Very intricate. My first DIY I created to store my faux florals. I created 7 wire mesh shelves and I attached them to 4 of the wood posts we had stored at the garage. I spaced each shelf 12 inches apart. Once my frame was complete, I attached small wood boards at each side of the post, creating a frame around each shelf. I then attached legs at the bottom for leverage and security. I found these legs on Amazon. Once the build was complete, I spray painted using Rust-Oleum's Universal spray paint in the color black with a gloss finish. For my second DIY, I used the plywood to create an art bin for my wall art. I based the dimension on the largest piece of wall art that I owned, as well as the ledge where the art bin would sit. I added legs to it as well, and I also caulked around the edges of the art bin. I used the same Rust-Oleum Universal spray paint, color black, with a gloss finish. With my DIYs complete, I moved on to painting the garage. My color scheme is white and black. For the walls and the ceiling, I decided to use Bare Premium Plus in the ultra white color and with a high gloss finish. Before painting this side, I made sure to take a picture of my layout that I'd written out on the wall in order to complete my design scheme. As I waited for the paint application at the right side of the garage to dry, I moved on to clean and declutter the left side. I deemed this side my easy side as I planned to use the storage items that already existed. I added a coat of paint to the table as well as the cabinet. I also added a screen to the bottom of the cabinet as I wanted to prevent debris from lodging underneath. To create the storage system, I purchased 5 72-inch bookshelves and 5 32-inch bookshelves. Once I put them together, my niece assisted me in stacking the 32-inch on top of the 72-inch. I secured them together with L brackets. For added security and to avoid either from toppling over, I added a wood board to the back of each bookshelf. I then ensured that each board was attached to the studs at the wall. I painted each board to reflect the backing at each bookshelf in order to make the board disappear. I further added L brackets to bookshelving and then studded them at the wall as well. The last 3 bookshelves here I removed from the left side of the garage to the right side and added to the storage system to create additional storage space. I used the same method for security for these bookshelves as well. For the remainder of the garage storage, I purchased this small dresser and 4 52-inch cube storage shelves. I again stacked the shelving for additional vertical storage. I used the L brackets to secure the cube shelf to the dresser and to secure the cube shelving to the studs. I decided to make a slight change to my design layout here at the ledge and place the flower storage at the corner of the garage. It simply felt more secure here. I further secured it by doing the same process of adding a board to the back and studding that board at the wall. To close up the gap between the bookshelves, whether it was on side or whether they were on top, I purchased white duct tape and ran it along the seams. In painting the floor, I painted the floor as I went about installing each storage piece in order for me to be able to install that storage piece. I used the Drylock concrete paint, and this paint was really awesome, guys. It really covered a lot of space. I can't say enough about it. It's just great for coverage of a concrete floor. So I am all done with my storage system at the right side of the garage. I'm really happy with the turnout, and as you can tell, I took advantage of a lot of vertical space, which is really awesome. I've installed the shelving to the bookshelves, and what I also really like about this system in using bookshelves is I can adjust those shelves at any time depending on what piece of art I plan to put there. I moved back to the left side of the garage. I started with the door to get rid of a lot of the grease and crud that was there, and I used the crud cutter, which is a degreaser. With the bookshelves removed, I was able to go ahead and immediately go in with caulking of the holes from the bookshelf removal, as well as sanding, in order to continue with painting of the garage on the left side. As I continued to work through the night, I was unaware that my recording had become grainy, so I'm sharing with you all the completed product of the left side of the garage. I had two cabinets that were at the wall. I removed them and placed them at the floor of the garage in order for me to be able to take advantage of the vertical space by installing the other cubed shelving that I had on hand. I use the same installation process whenever I attach the cube shelving to the cabinets, with using the L brackets to attach them to the cabinets, but I also use the same process of using the L brackets to stud the cube shelving to the wall. The black paint I decided to go with at the door in order to avoid the fingerprints and whatnot, and I used Bare Premium paint, black with the high gloss finish. I also added cube shelving to this cabinet in order to take advantage of the vertical space. I attached it to the cabinet using the L brackets. I'll also attach to the studs using L brackets. This cabinet was initially at the wall. I put it on the floor as well in order to take advantage of the top space as a means for workspace. Even though there was a significant amount of space remaining above the refrigerator, instead of installing another storage system, I decided to use the top of the refrigerator for storage space. For the organization of my home decor, I first sorted by color, then by height, and based on that height, I then decided how to best accommodate it at the storage system. This, of course, took several trips up and down the ladder, but in the end, it was well worth it. My final step for my last day of completion was a final coat of paint to the garage floor. I was able to accommodate all of my faux florals here at my what I now affectionately call my flower tower. I thank you all for taking this time out of your day to spend with me. I hope you enjoyed and that you were inspired. If there's any portion that you liked, please take the time to hit that like button and to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will gladly get back with you. This was a lengthy video, but this was a lengthy process, so I wanted to share as much as possible with you all in case you wanted to take on any portion of this project. As always, continued blessings to you all. Stay safe, guys.